Hi, I'm XAN Van Roooyen, and I am an autistic non-binary author originally from South Africa, but I've called Finland home for about 14 years now. I'm an author of mostly YA novels, but today I'd like to read from my brand new adult novel called Silver Helix, and it is an arcanopunk novel, so it mixes cyberpunk elements with magic and is inspired by Finnish mythology. I'm really excited for this to be out in the world. Here we go. Ethereal's tits, it's called. I bit out through the ratty layers of my scarf. Another reason to make this quick, Rue said, all business as usual. Sticking to the shadows, we strode away from our rendezvous point near the harbour. The sludge-thick Baltic lapped against the piers, abandoned to the freeze. Usually, the boardwalks were packed with gaggles of intoxicated teenagers. But those not participating in the riots raging across the city tonight were probably safe and warm indoors, like I should have been. I glared across the bay at the uppity burbs drenched in the surgical glow of LEDs. It didn't matter that a single month's rent there was more than a grit could make in a lifetime. The wind shoved the stink of rotting magic up their sky-high noses all the same. I led the way through the web of streets, shoulders hunched against the November wind. The city of Helsinki might have become a mega-sprawl, all flash and neon, with a skyline punctuated by dozens of spires, as if the whole damn city had a perpetual hard-on. But it still had scars. Some were gossamer-thin threads suturing up shattered pieces of the capital with delicate cosmetic precision. The ones in this hood were more like what a grit like me would earn, gnarled, ugly, and still painful. Ethereals had lived here once, tucked in a couple of red brick blocks known as the abattoir. Sadly, it had lived up to its name. After the war, our benevolent overlords had tried to burn away any congealed puddles of magic. When that had failed, they tried to cut it out like a tumour, leaving the ruins for the city's poorest to inhabit. Now, they were simply paving over the memories with no regard for that beautiful old architecture crumbling beneath their heels, as if the spilt blood wasn't going to seep up through the new foundations anyway. "Hey, Omen, watch it!" Rue grabbed my arm and tugged me away from the blistered lip of a crater right in the middle of the street. Fuck, I needed to pay more attention. The double espresso I'd had at work around midnight clearly wasn't hitting the spot anymore. With Rue in front, we ignored the construction cones and demarcation tape, carefully skirted the security cameras and clambered over the rubble until we reached a swath of a mostly intact wall. It's a good thing I always wore combat boots. "This it?" I asked. "Just as promised." Rue dragged a finger across a shadow blasted into the masonry, barely visible in the sterile glow of the street lamps over on the next block, where gentrification was well underway. Everything was a box there, built for energy efficiency and for maximizing square meterage. It was soulless, all glass facades and painted exteriors with LED lighting, determined to sear away the history of Helsinki. I traced the silhouette of the creature's death burned into the concrete. The memory of a healthier, perhaps. The limbs disproportionately long, and the ears pointed like most ethereals. "Did Healthiot have wings?" I asked quietly. I couldn't remember, despite the hours I'd spent killing them in video games. "Nah, this must have been one of those pixie things." "Okay," I said, and Rue shrugged a maybe under their black trench. Info on ethereals was sketchy at best, and any searches on the subject could get you flagged by Helsinki, banned from the web, or even worse, axed from GameSpace. Not worth the risk. When I was a kid, my dad used to game with me. Our favorite game was this ARPG where we were bounty hunters, bagging and tagging ethereals from all over the world. It's how I learned most of what I know about magic. But I bit my lip hard, not wanting to let any bitterness sink its claws into me. "Let's do this," Rue flicked on the headlight worn over their beanie. I glanced up and down the street. Even with what was going to go down later today, we weren't likely to be disturbed at 4 a.m. in a neighborhood housing crumpled eviction notices. I cast a wary look at the sky, half expecting to hear the whir of PD drones. I definitely didn't need to add this to my rap sheet. But all was quiet. And I'm gonna leave it there. Don't want to spoil any more. But yeah, this is Silver Helix, and if you like that, you can get this book anywhere you buy books. Thank you so much for listening.